2 of AirgunWebTV, where we're going to get into a lot more airgun reviews with airgun expert Rick Utzler and travel to new hunting locations with the airgun scout Cecil Bays. We've even brought in a new guy, Aaron the Barbarian, to get in on all the action. Now 2016 is going to be a great year. We're going to look at some great new air guns and get in a lot more hunting too. So join us here on AirgunWebTV, where we're going to test them, we're going to shoot them, and we're going to tell you all about it. It's a great time to be an airgunner. Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of AirgunWebTV. My name is Rick Utzler.
And I'm Cecil Bays, the Airgun Scout.
Today we're going to talk about CO2 products. Umarex is one of our largest sponsors, and they really take care of us. And all of what you see on the table, this all comes from them. So stay with us. We got a lot of cool things to talk about. We'll be right back. Thank you for watching AirgunWebTV. In this episode, we're not even going to scratch the surface of all the great CO2 airguns that are offered by Umarex USA, but we are going to show you some of our favorites. Please be sure to go to the video description if you have any questions about where you can get these great airguns. It really is a great time to be an airgunner. Cecil?
Yes.
CO2 time.
Yes, one of our favorite subjects.
I love CO2 guns. Before we get into the guns, we should probably talk about what CO2 is.
Right, because not everybody knows what CO2 is. You know, everybody sees the little silver cartridges and that they put in their pistol, but they don't really know what's going on inside of here.
You know, I had one guy tell me one time, I said, you know, is this stuff really safe? Because I wanted to get into refilling, and he said, Rick, let me tell you something. Companies bottle this stuff up and then give it to children and say, go have fun. Okay, so we're talking about something that's safe. CO2 is very safe. This is a pressurized gas.
Yes.
So low volume though, and it's such, this container, once you pop that, it's a couple seconds and it's done. These are extremely safe. So if you're concerned about that aspect of it, you really don't need to be. Very, very safe.
Yes. What it is inside this capsule, they've pressurized CO2, which is carbon dioxide gas, and when they pressurize it, it becomes a liquid. So there's actually a liquid inside these cartridges and inside the 88 grams.
And it's how much liquid is there. There's 12 grams of liquid in here and 88 grams of liquid in there.
Exactly.
So that's what that means.
Right. And there's a question that you've gotten quite often, and I've heard also, is do I get more power out of an 88 gram cartridge than out of a 12 gram?
And no, you don't.
No, you do not.
And let me tell you why. At rest, in this condition, at liquid form, CO2 sits at 900 PSI.
Yes.
So if you have more of it, it's still 900 PSI. I could have a tanker truck full of CO2 and it's at 900 PSI.
Exactly.
Because in liquid form, CO2 is a fixed pressure. It gives it a great stability when you're firing like in match rifles or something like that.
Yes.
Because you get the same pressure until you don't have enough volume of the liquid to maintain that pressure. That's when you start losing your velocity. But as long as there's enough in there, it's the same velocity pretty much every time. It will cool down if you rapid fire, but don't do that and you're going to get very consistent shots. It's a great, very stable fuel for air guns of all shapes and sizes.
Yes, you do have certain limitations. Extreme cold temperatures will affect it, and extreme hot temperatures will affect it.
Correct. That's a little bit about CO2. Now, everything you see on the table here, and even some stuff we haven't shown you yet, all runs on CO2. And I want to start with your sort of a high-end pellet pistol.
Yes.
Okay?
That's a good place to start.
This is a Beretta, and you're familiar with this form factor, aren't you?
Yes. Yes, the Beretta M9 style pistol.
Yeah, 92 FS is what this one is.
Yep.
So this is a really heavy piece. It's probably really similar to what you carried when you were in the Army.
Yes, it is. With a full magazine, it's about the same weight. This might just be a hair heavier, to be honest.
Okay.
But it's pretty close. It's, you know, a lot of the plastic or, you know, composite ones are really light and they don't feel anywhere near real.
Well, this is all metal. What sets this apart really is this is actually a pellet pistol. So you have an 8-shot rotary magazine, which I think is cool, and a rifled steel barrel. So this product is less about realism on the action of the product and more about realism of the look and feel, and also precision shooting.
Yes.
So if you're about accuracy, then this is what you're looking for, because this will give you that super accurate shooting that you want. Super nice trigger pull on both double and single action. Just a very, very nice piece. Now, let's move on to something that's also a pellet pistol. Again, in that more precision class. Those are sort of higher end, I should say, these are sort of higher end replica products. This is a Smith Wesson 586. It's got your 4-inch barrel, and this opens up, show it around here to the camera. This opens up like this, and you have a nice metal 10-round magazine. Now this also, if you're used to the Smith & Wesson revolver platform, there you go, Cecil. Tell me about that feel, that weight and feel.
Oh, that's real nice. And the sights are very true to the Smith & Wesson also.
Fully adjustable sights as well.
Yes. We used this pistol at the IASS shoot that we did a while back last year. And this is, as you were talking, with the rifled steel barrel and shooting the pellets, it's very accurate.
It's super
extremely accurate. Yeah.
So this is another product, again, it's a little higher end, a couple $100 in that price range. Very nice, all metal, super consistent, great accuracy, a lot of fun. Now, we start getting into the more replica action category.
Yes.
And that, we're gonna start with a favorite, and you've got one of these too, don't you?
Yeah, I got mine right here.
And this is where Umarex, I mean, they shine in all of this, but this is where they really started to pull out all the stops.
Yes.
You take an iconic piece like the Colt 45, you know, the single action Colt, and this is a 1-to-1 replica of that iconic product. And the CO2 stores right in the handle. Let me see here. Pop this right off. The CO2 stores right in there, and they even give you the Allen key to engage the CO2 built right into the handle so you don't lose it. I don't know how many of those Allen keys I've lost over the years.
That's a really nice feature that they started doing, is adding that Allen key in the pistol, and you've got it right there with you. All you need is BBs and CO2 cartridges, and you're good to go.
Cool thing about this, if you're an action pistol shooter, I'll talk just about ammo real quick. These are going to shoot steel BBs, generally speaking. Now, if you're an action pistol shooter, you're not going to be able to use steel BBs because you don't want to ever shoot steel BBs at steel targets because of the ricochet.
Yes.
In fact, you never want to shoot steel BBs at a hard surface either, because it can be very dangerous.
Yes, rocks, you know.
Walls, sides of cars. I mean, all of those things are really, just don't do it.
Yeah, don't. Bad idea.
Now, because that action pistol category is becoming so popular, and people want to train, I mean, they actually want to shoot steel targets.
Right.
And these guns are great for it, but with steel BBs, you really can't do that.
No.
H&N's come out with something called their Smart Shot BB, and we've got some here, and we use these a lot. These BBs are actually lead coated with copper, and they maintain their shape, whether, you know, pressed into a cartridge gun like this. Let's see if I can get this to work for me. There we go. So you would normally put a BB in the shell. Here you can put the Smart Shot in there. It's lead, doesn't deform, not when you insert it in your cartridge, but when you fire it and it hits a hard object, that's when it deforms, and there's very little ricochet. That's why they're called low ricochet BBs, and they're safe to use on hard targets, which I think is very cool.
Yes, that's a great innovation for the sport.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed everything, especially if you're into that competitive action shooting. Now you can use guns, we're gonna get to in just a moment. Now you can use guns that are very much like your carry weapon or something you compete with. There's probably a replica to that, and that's where that Smart Shot can come in real handy. What's next over there?
Well, what we've got here is a Beretta similar to that first pistol, the pellet action pistol, but this one here shoots BBs instead. And it has that more true to the actual action. Like we were saying, that was a little bit less true to the action. This one here, the action, what we like to call in my circles, switchology.
Switchology, okay.
Is all the same. All the levers, all the safeties, the decocker, everything works the same. Also, you've got a full-size magazine that has your valve in it, holds your CO2, which goes in this little plug right here on the bottom, and then also it's got a 20 shots.
It's like 18 to 20-ish. It's a lot of BBs in there.
A lot of BBs, and there's a reason for that. That they stack straight up and down in that magazine, and then you also have this little switch right here.
Yes, that wonderful little have more fun switch.
Yes, and you flip it up, and it goes full auto.
Yeah, and it will dump a mag in a hurry.
Yeah, that's the reason for the 20 shots.
Yeah.
So,
And buy lots of CO2, by the way. If you're going to run full auto, lots of CO2.
Yeah, lots of CO2, lots of BBs. Like you were saying with the Colt Single Action Army, you've got the Excite Smart Shot BBs.
Right.
And a good reason for that copper coating on there is so that you can actually use them in these stacked magazines.
That's a good point.
Not just in those there. Because there are some lead round balls that you can use in the Colts that will work. But they won't work in this because they'll deform because of the pressure of that spring.
Right, here's another type of, this one doesn't have the CO2 in it, but it's the same idea. When you lock this back, you fill it up, the minute you release that spring, it puts all that pressure on the lead.
Yes.
And just straight lead will deform and jam your gun. That's a good point.
And the Smart Shot BBs will work in this, so the IDPA, IASS,
all of that stuff.
All those steel target competitions, you can practice or actually compete.
Yep.
In like IASS, which is an air rifle, air pistol sport, you can use these now.
It's like a 3-gun, just so people don't know. It's like a 3-gun type with air guns.
Yes. But before you had to use a pellet pistol so that they would deform when they hit the metal targets and not ricochet back at you. Now with the Smart Shot BBs, you can use a pistol just like this.
And it's something that you would maybe carry. I mean, that's a 1-to-1 full action replica, licensed replica. It's something that Umarex does very, very well. And that's a great option.
Except for the being full auto.
Yeah, well, you can't buy that off the shelf.
And having the rail right here, the accessory rail, which is really nice for this Weaver rail. You can put a flashlight or a laser. But this is very, very similar to what I carried in Iraq, my M9. And I really enjoy shooting these because it has that same feel, the switchology, everything is the same. And it's a great training aid also.
Yeah. Right, so what else do we have here we want to talk about today?
Well, we've got the Smith Wesson M&P here. This is one of their newer ones.
It is a newer one.
Yes, and we were talking about the reel to the actual firearm features. This one has the replaceable palm swell. It comes with a couple of different ones.
Yep, correct.
And you can customize it just like the firearm you buy down at your local gun store.
You see that one? I've played with this a little bit, I'll admit. Maybe a little lot. But this is a really nice piece. Again, multi-shot magazine, CO2 in the magazine. Great 1-to-1 feel, super nice. High quality polymer grip, just like the real thing. All metal slide. Nice action when you're done shooting, the slide locks back. It's got a good zip to it. Got a really, really nice trigger. Surprisingly so. And I've shot a lot of action pistols. It may have one of the nicest triggers in an automatic blowback pistol that I've had the chance to shoot. You know, all the switches work like you're saying, a nice ambidextrous safety. It's got a great weight, great feel, just a really, really nice product.
Yes, it definitely is. And you can really see that Umarex is putting the time and the effort and the love into these action pistols to make them what people have been asking for, that realism, that feel, the switchology, you know.
Yep.
It's all just like the real thing, you know, the firearm version. And it's great for training, you know, concealed carry. If you want to conceal carry, you need to practice with
Have to practice.
Yeah, you have to practice. That's paramount. And this gives you the opportunity to do it with a lot lower cost.
Super cheap.
Exactly.
Super cheap.
Compared to live ammo, firearm ammo, you're gonna get a lot more training time out of this. And it has the blowback, but it does have less recoil than a 40 does.
Sure.
But you're gonna still get that feel, but you're also not gonna be too tired after you're done.
And you're actually gonna get actual feedback on target, which is critical. Muscle memory, getting it out of your holster, you know, setting it up, pulling the trigger, all that you can do sort of with your firearm, but unless you're gonna go down the range and spend a lot of money, you're not gonna get that actual feedback on target, and these give you that for a fraction of the money. And that, I think, really just makes this all worth it. Whether you want, you know, precision, or you're looking for a more action pistol, whether you're looking for BB or pellet, something at Umarex, they got what you're looking for, and it's all very, very good quality.
Yes. Well, one thing we haven't talked about.
Oh yes.
This thing right here.
I've had this for quite a while. It's kind of funny how I came by this. I actually emailed Umarex sometime back, said, man, you know, really, really love that Walther Lever Action. And they said, you know, we just don't sell enough. We're probably not going to have you do a review of one. I said, okay, fine. And then a couple months later, this shows up at the door. One of my favorite pieces. It's a multi-shot, uses the same rotary magazine that you'll find in their higher end pistols. Same sort of mechanics. 8-shot pellet, operates like the real deal, and this is so much fun to shoot. Again, precision and replica, and a really nice piece. This is a Walther, really, really nice product.
Yes, and it comes in the stainless or the brushed like this, or the blued also.
Yeah, it comes in blued. Yeah, I really like the stainless. It's probably my favorite. Well, Cecil, now we've got some other CO2 products that I really want to get to, but they're not going to fit on the table.
No, well, we may just have to shoot them to show them.
We're going to have to shoot them to show them. We're going to go get set up. We've got something really cool to show you. We'll be right back.
That was not single action.
No, that's the more fun button. Cecil,
yes.
We have got to get to the next part of this CO2 stuff. Now, these things take it to the next level.
They really do, yeah. I mean...
Now, we talked about the more fun button on these.
Yes.
So, you know, if you wanted to shoot, now this is loaded, ready to go. You know, I'm going to go ahead and start in single action because I just like the lighter charcoal.
That was not single action.
No, that's the more fun button. So that's the more fun button.
Yes. Okay.
You can also do it without the more fun button.
Yeah, you could do it without the more fun button and like try to actually hit the center of the target. Or
a little low.
Am I shooting a little? Yeah, I am.
Try even a little higher. There you go.
So that's accuracy mode, and then there's suppressive fire mode.
The more fun button. I really like calling it the more fun button because that's exactly what it is. Yeah, I'm actually going to try. I didn't mean to have it on the more fun button. I'm going to try and shoot with a little bit of accuracy here. Let's see how she does. All right. Okay, so let's see. Turn it off and make it less fun now, right? Less fun. Okay, here we go. That's not shabby.
No, it's not. It's not bad at all.
You know, we're talking combat grouping or do a little tactical practice or a little proficiency practice. I mean, that's putting everything like that. That's certainly more than adequate. That's,
oh, yes.
That's beautiful, man.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. When, like in the military, when you're qualifying with your M9 with a 9mm, like this Beretta, you're sitting there and you're shooting at a man-sized target. That's,
right,
you know, about 36 inches by 16 inches.
Okay.
You know, and you're shooting at that from 15 yards out to, or 15 meters out to 40 meters.
Okay.
And so, I mean, that's accuracy that would hit that target.
That's really, really good. That's really nice.
Yes.
We have some other toys here, don't we?
Yes, we've got a couple more of the long gun variety.
Yeah, let's talk about that one right there. We talked about that last season.
Yes, we did talk about this a little bit in our types of air guns episode. We really didn't shoot it a lot, but we did shoot a little bit, and we shot a lot since then.
You still show a little wear on that one.
Yes, it gets some use. That's because it's lots of fun.
Yeah.
This has the more fun button also.
Yep. Go ahead. You take some shots.
And then the more fun button. See, now that's
really accurate.
Yes, it's more fun and accurate.
That's awesome. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that works really well, and that's one thing that I really do like about that is even when you're on the more fun button, it's got some great accuracy.
It's the stability of the rifle.
Yeah.
But that's, you can't do that with spring gun at all. So CO2 gives you a ton of really cool options. We have one more to show you now. We've talked about, these are all BB guns that we got here. And these are all practice target. What about CO2 for hunting? What do you think?
For some small game, some pesting, it definitely has the power to do it. And it's our friends over on the other side of the pond, as they call it, you know, in the UK, they do use some of the rifles similar to this one right here.
Yep. So you've got the Hammerly 850, right?
Yes.
So this is an Air 58 Magnum. It's available at 177.22, and it's actually suitable for light pesting, you know, maybe some small birds or rats, mice, and maybe even some small squirrels, if you have really good shot placement, which should not be a problem with this particular rifle.
No, it uses the 88 gram CO2 cartridge. Fits right under this cover right here. You'll get a lot more shots with the 88 gram compared to a 12 gram cartridge.
Yeah, you get about 200 shots out of a single 88 gram cartridge, and you can leave it installed with a gun. It's not going to hurt it.
Yes, you might get a little bit less with the 22 caliber maybe. So it's this one here is the 177 that we have.
Yep.
Okay, and it's your typical bolt action rifle. You load the magazine in from the left side. There's a little switch here that locks the magazine in, kind of a axle for it to rotate on, I guess. You just forward the bolt, put it down just like you would any bolt action rifle.
And it has an automatic safety at the back. And Germans, you know, if one screw will work, why not use 10? So the safety has a safety, so it's actually got a little lever on it, so it's kind of a double safety. It's kind of a nice feature.
One thing I've kind of learned is if you push down as you're pushing forward on it, it goes nice and easy.
Now we've got a target about 30 yards away, and this is the new Umarex. It's a little box. It has some swinging targets and then a reset. It's a pretty cool target. It's the first time we've used it. So 30 yards, Cecil. CO2 gun, 177 in the wind. You hit the target.
I think I hit the box, but here, you go ahead and take the next shot there.
Okay.
We can alternate this here. There you go. All right.
So I use 1 dot below the mill, or 1 mil low.
There we go. I was aiming
dead center.
Dead center.
Aim 1 mil, 1 mil. It is my gun.
It is. This is true.
Or maybe my first one was a lucky shot, Cecil. Let's see. It might have been
a lucky shot.
You're all set.
Alrighty.
There you go. You knocked my other one down.
Actually, I realized I saw where we were impacting on the target. I actually aimed dead center and it hit.
Oh, cool. Well, maybe my shot was just me pulling it or something.
Who knows?
We got a couple more shots.
I think he was aiming dead center the whole time. He was just telling me he was aiming a dot.
Now, would I do that? Come on, Cecil.
Yeah,
I'm not like that.
No.
Maybe a little bit. I think that's pretty much getting it done. What do you think?
I think that is definitely squirrel accuracy right there. I mean,
30 yards, man.
30 yards is about average of what we've been seeing the squirrels up here today. And if, you know, we've actually been up here squirrel hunting in this exact area. Yeah.
I like this gun. I've had this gun a long time. It served me very, very well. Now we have one more challenge before we wrap things up today. There's a thing called mini-sniping, and I didn't really know much about it until I started doing a little research. And mini-sniping can be basically anything. What we've got down there are some little army guys we picked up at the little cheap discount store. And I was wondering, maybe we alternate and see how many we can take out.
All right, we can do that. I'll go for that furthest left one.
Yep. Oh, he's gone.
Oh yeah.
Nice shot.
If there was any question about it having any power, I mean, that thing just disappeared.
Zipped it. That was cool. Ooh, and he's down.
Yeah, I think I just winged him though.
Yep. Maybe go. Oh, he's gone.
There we go.
That was a
Hit
square
that
hit.
one center.
Oh, he's
7
gone.
shots, so that's 8 shots. So
yeah.
It took me a full magazine to get my 4 guns.
You got him.
You gonna go from left to right again?
Yep.
I think you're just a touch high. There you go. Looks like a mortarman. Touch high again.
Ooh.
A little low. There you go. Oh, that one went flying.
It looks pretty cool when you hit him. When you hit him dead center, doesn't it? Okay. I'm just wiggling. There, did I get it?
There you go.
Oh, good.
That was a center mass hit right there.
Ah, finally. That was a pesky one. Well, I think we've pretty much exhausted our CO2. No pun intended.
Yeah. Umarex makes some great CO2 guns. Not only CO2, they make PCPs, they make brake barrels, but these CO2 guns are just a hoot. You know?
There is something for everybody. If
There
you
is.
want to shoot long range, and really those guys are, I mean, we're hitting something that's way less than half an inch.
Oh yes.
I mean, just teeny tiny. And 30 yards, I had a little trouble there at the end, but you know, certainly not the gun. That was all me and the weeble wobble. But
That was that squirrel.
I'd like to blame it on the squirrel, but no. It's, you know, there you have a challenge, you have something that gives you some training opportunities, you have just pure fun. There's something for everybody in that CO2 genre, and Umarex USA has the products. www.umarexusa.com. That's where you're going to find them. Well, that really does wrap things up. Cecil, thanks for coming out, man. We've had a lot of fun today.
Yeah, I love coming out into these locations like this. This is a great spot to do reviews, and you know,
Just get out and do some shooting.
Yeah, exactly. So get us some exercise before hunting season. Which,
Oh yeah, I'm not sure about that.
a couple weeks from now.
Yeah, squirrel season's coming up.
Yep.
My name is Rick Utzer with AirgunWebTV.
And I'm Cecil Basie, Airgun Scout.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching this episode of AirgunWebTV. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel and also share our videos, because the more you subscribe and the more you share, the more we can do in 2017. Now we've got our final episode coming up, and it's going to be a good one. Stay with us. We've got some great stuff coming your way from Gammo USA. It really is a great time to be an air gunner.
Where is he?
You see that tree right there? There's 2 branches that stick
Oh, I
straight
see
out.
him.
There
Yep.
he is right there.
Okay, so what I was trying to sort out earlier, Cecil, because it's not quite squirrel season yet,
Yes.
and so a tree squirrel season, it's always rock squirrel, right?
Yeah, ground squirrel.
Ground
squirrel,
okay.
yeah.
So if he gets on a rock,
Yeah.
does that make him a rock squirrel?
I don't think that's quite. Well, the big thing is he's a tasseled ear squirrel.
Oh.
So, yeah, he's a tasseled ear tree squirrel. So, yeah, I think that's.
So no chance there, huh?
No, he's good for another 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks.
He's just sitting there.
Yeah, he knows it.
He's been here all day too,
He
man.
has been.
All right, let me see if I can get that last little dude.